All right, it looks like I am live. Let me just add a thing really fast. BRB, fetching tea, because the kettle is about to go off in just a second. So I'm just going to take care of that really fast, and then I will be right back with you. Okay. Boop. Okie dokie. I have my tea in my little D20 dice mug. It's delightful. I love it. This was a gift from my Dungeon Master Reno. Oh, today's sweater. I want to show this off because I love this thing. I got it when I was at Genghis Khan. Yes, that is the actual name of the convention. Let me look up the name of the artist really fast before I forget, because I want to give her a shout out. Or them. I don't know their preferred pronouns, so. I have it in my Evernote. Let me see. Illustrators. At Genghis Khan. I got this from Maury Clark. So if you want to see more art by Maury Clark, check them out on Instagram at MORIE Clark, all one word. They also have a website. But yeah, they did my sweater. Oh, look at this. This is so pretty. I love it. I love it so much. I'm so happy I got this. This is the most snug sweater that I think I've ever owned, aside from the Pizza John. All right. Imagine this hand upside down. I just got them. Yes. Happy to see you again, Solar Flare. I wondered where you went last week. I hadn't seen you last week, but I'm happy to see you here this week. All righty. Let me screen share really fast. Wrong button. Share screen. And it's going to go through a couple of things. Boom. Share. All right. We got that done. Coolio. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to be doing a live draw of a character design that was voted on by peeps who participated in the poll that NeverEnding hosted on Twitter. Follow them on Twitter at @NeverEnding. Going to check on my tea really fast. Okay. Still steeping. All right. Cool. Happy to see everybody in the chat. Yay. Thank you for joining. Oh, and I see we got a new subscriber. Thank you for joining us. Cool. All right. So, okay, let's get started on this design. Homework and drawing like a crazy maniac. I only draw up to things. I totally get that. I do that too. Like lately I've been drawing to Critical Role, but I also draw to video game reviews and stuff like that. So like I totally get you there. Okay, got the share screen up. I'm going to start a new document. Wrong command. There we go. First, though, I'm going to bring up, let's see. I need to bring up another pinup or a character asset that I've done recently, just for proportion's sake, so that I can start this from scratch with the right like size. Here we go. This will work. The dimensions on this guy are okay. I'm just going to delete. And that gives me a clear canvas. I'm going to save this as elf monk. The character design that was voted on the most was the elf monk. So that is what we will be drawing today. I'm going to pop a link up here because I will be drawing this for NeverEnding Inc. You can find out more about them at beneverending.com. I'll leave that link up for a little bit while I get this started. First, we're going to fill the canvas. And we're going to get a new layer, pencils, and we're going to hit P twice to get to the pencils. And okay. Make the ink black. There we go. Looks the way I intended. Oh, let me get visual reference up first too, because I have some image references for this particular commission. By the way, if you hear any thumping around or talking in the background, that's just my mom and her boyfriend packing up stuff. So no worries there. Need to find the right folder for this. References. Here it is. Okay. So I did not know that this was a martial art that existed, but there is an Indian martial art called Kalaripayat. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but that's okay. But there's some interesting poses that they utilize in that martial art. So I will be using that for the basis of a lot of this. Okay. Making sure everything's hunky-dory. Got my image ref. You know what? I might upload this into Clip Studio Paint. Give me just a sec. I'm just going to take a peek at what pose I want to use as the basis for this drawing. I think I like this one the best. Yeah, this one. I'm going to use this one as the basis for the commission, but with a couple of tweaks. Enlarge the canvas a little bit. There we go. Boop. Pencil. Again, just using the photo as a basis, but I'm going to be using my own artistic license to make it whatever pose I want. Move that up a bit because I need to work on the legs. I'll figure out that back leg in just a minute. I'm going to get this leg first because this looks like the anchor foot. Again, don't worry about if you hear any like movement in the background or anything. That's just the two other people in the house. I had thought about possibly having like a bow staff, like cutting across here. Because there's like a quarterstaff dealio going on in the original reference picture, but I was thinking about playing around with the weaponry here. Oh no, this is going to be a thing that's going to be a thing for a while, so it's fine if you make noise. No, you're good. No, I'm going to be live streaming until 3 o'clock, so. Hi, Jessica. Good to see you. Glad you could join us. I'm going to change up what's going on the banner at the bottom here. So I was familiar with this service before, but I'm so glad that it exists. Linktree. It is just one page, and all of your links are on there. There you go. Find my blog, Instagram, Patreon, coffee, all of that stuff. All in one place. There we go. You're welcome. Yes. Okay. Oh, actually, before I forget, there's a survey, not survey, but a poll. There's a poll going on Patreon. It's public, so you can vote on it, whether you are a patron or not. The poll is to help come up with a name for my Discord server. Let me get a link for that. Oh, man. Looking at the breakdown of the votes right now, in the Name My Discord Server poll, Tiny Dinos is coming in the lead, followed closely by Holy Banana Pants. Let me shorten this URL so that it's easy for you to find. Boom. Add display. There we go. If you would like to vote on a name for my Discord server, just go to tinyurl.com/discord-poll and cast your vote. Right now, Tiny Dinos is in the lead, followed closely by Holy Banana Pants, but there's lots of other options available, so cast your vote. I'll leave that up for a little bit, so if you would like to vote on what name you would like to name my Discord server, there you go. Okay. Let's figure out what to do with this here pose. See, part of the reason that I like the original pose is because of the lines. Like, the line of his thigh is parallel with the line of the weapon that he's carrying. And that's why I like this pose. That's why I thought that I would use it as a basis. I might use the quarterstaff for the art piece, but I wanted to play around with it. Hold on. I think I got it. I think I got this. So we're making decisions live, y'all. So it came to my attention because I am no longer on Twitter, but it came to my attention that there's been some Twitter discussions lately about representations of disabilities in Dungeons and Dragons. And this is something that actually interests me because my character Ollie, the half-orc ranger, was not ranger, the half-orc druid. Excuse me. But Ollie, the half-orc druid, was actually really close to losing her arm because of something that happened in the story. Thankfully, she did not lose her arm, but if she had lost it, that would have made the game way more interesting. But then that would make things trickier because she's a spellcaster. So I don't know what the homebrewed rules would have to be for accommodating like a one-armed spellcaster. The team at NeverEnding and I have been talking about making magical prosthetics, which is a really cool idea. But thinking about this made me think, well, what would even be the opinions of the detractors? Like, I can't really think of anything beyond, no, I don't want to role play as Daredevil in my fantasy world. Like, who doesn't want to play Daredevil in Dungeons and Dragons? There is an entire YouTube channel, and I'm going to give a shout out to this guy because his YouTube channel is great, Tulok the Barbarian, and his entire deal is he makes videos talking about how you can play pop culture characters in Dungeons and Dragons. He just recently did a video about how to play Vegeta in 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and it's great, and you should check it out. For the purposes of, because it's frickin' Vegeta and you're converting a Dragon Ball Z character into the Dungeons and Dragons world, his power did scale down a bit, but for all of his abilities and all intents and purposes, like, the character build is there, and it is recognizably Vegeta. So he's also done some Kingdom Hearts characters, comic book characters, cartoon characters, all kinds of stuff. Tulok the Barbarian, check it out. I'm going to do something different with the left hand of this particular character. And yes, I did just use my own hand as a reference for which hand position this was. Shush, don't judge me. Oh, and here comes Bree Bree. I hear her jumping onto the printer, Beefy McMuscleton.
You're going to give yourself a kitty concussion one of these days.
Everybody, this is Bree Bree.
Say hi to the camera, Bree Bree. Yep.
She doesn't like to be scooped, but she likes to be in my lap.
But yeah.
Let's change up the link that on the bottom of the screen here. We're going to change it back to this so that you can check out all my stuff.
All right, are you going to settle?
She just likes to stand in my lap for whatever reason. Change that up a bit. Okay. Could do that. I'm not sure that I like it. Hold on. Gonna murder the darling here, and I'm gonna redraw that arm. Oh. that face correction can stay. I'm going to make a lasso. There we go. And that's correct. Okay. That needs to be a little lower, actually, for the proper placement of the elbow. No, but I don't want to cause a tangent either. Tangents are when two lines kind of touch each other in a drawing in such a way that it causes it to not look like proper overlap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's something that I kind of want to avoid. So maybe I should change what weapon he's holding. Or they. Their gender is indeterminate right now. Also, they're an elf. Elves are almost inherently gender fluid, at least in my mind's eye. Like, they have a lot more fluidity with their gender than some human cultures do, the way I imagine it. Okay. Bree has settled into my lap, so I can correct the screen here. Yay. For an update, Bree is doing okay. I've scheduled her dental appointment because she needs to have some teeth extracted. Poor thing. Well, if she would stop chewing on plastic bags, though, that would help. Like, I try to keep the plastic bags away from her, and yet she somehow finds them and she chews on them, like the heathen that she is. Adding to the complication is that my mom and her boyfriend are here at the house this weekend, and they're packing up the last of their stuff, and they're putting a lot of the stuff that goes to Goodwill or other charitable organizations into giant trash bags. And those are made of plastic. And Bree likes to chew on plastic. So at least she's in my lap. So this tells me that she is not in a trash bag right now. That helps. Okay. I just heard my phone vibrate. I didn't know if it was a text message or not. It's nothing urgent. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to save the progress that I've been making so far. Boop. Okay.
Yes, baby?
She just nudged into my elbow. You know what? Let's start a new layer and work off of a different one.
Oh, hi.
Let's see. This would be an interesting one. Here we go. Yeah, it's a stock photo, but it works. Okay. Ugh. Excuse me. Something in my eye.
You are shedding an awful lot, kitty kitty.
Another shot of the cat, just for integrity. Mm-hmm. Okay, back to the picture. So, elf monk. Mm-hmm. I think. The canvas needs to be just a wee bit wider because of the squat that he's doing. Pencils 2 because we scrapped the first layer, but I'm keeping that first layer just in case I change my mind again. I doubt it, but you never know. We're dealing with an entirely new character design, so we're going to keep things flexible. I'm just going to change up the camera angle at which this pose happens.
Oh, Bree.
She nudged into my elbow again. Little booger. Oh, this needs to move over a wee bit because of the placement of the right leg here shortly.
Hey, Bree.
Going to redraw that arm. Not 100% satisfied with how that turned out. Wrist placement. Perpendicular line. Show me where to place the elbow. There we go. I'm going to put the hand here. Perpendicular line. There's the elbow for that arm.
Yes, that's the laptop battery. Don't rub your face on it. Bree. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh. you going to settle?
This cat. Or I'm just going to sip my tea while she makes up her mind. Okay. Whoop. Who the heck was that? Somebody was just passing by the front. Oh, okay. Looks like some family and friends came over to visit too, so. I mean, I told them that I was going to be live streaming, so we'll see. Oop. I'm kind of stoked that you're using a place other than Japan or China for your monk inspiration. Not that there's anything wrong with those two places. No, they're just oversaturated. It's just there are many cultures with histories of martial arts. Cool to see another culture represented. Oh my God, dude. I could talk about African martial arts for days. Ahoy. Good to see you, Carlos. Glad that you could join us. For a second, I thought you were making a Super Art Fight reference, and then I realized, oh, it's because I have my tea. Yes, it is my D&D mug, and I love it. Anyway, okay. I'm not sure how long the friends of the family, Carol and Steve, are going to stick around. At least they're doing their proper hygiene, and they have face masks on and everything, so that's nice. That helps. Personally, I haven't really left since going grocery shopping a couple of days ago. So I'm doing my part.
Hey, baby.
She's all settled again.
On the lap. Just chilling.
But no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with pulling from China or Japan for Asiatic inspiration. But India and lots of parts of Africa have interesting martial arts traditions, and they are worth researching and looking into, and they are cool. Also, I studied African art history for 2 semesters, and there's just a lot of really cool shit about African art history and history in general that a lot of people look over, and I'm really sad that they do that. So if there is any way that I can do my part to help rectify that, I will do that. Respectfully, though. It can be both. Oh, both a reference to the tea and a reference to Super Art Fight. Yeah, which Super Art Fight, it's a fun time, guys. You should check it out. Let's see. All right, I'm going to give NeverEnding another shout out. The character design that I am drawing today was voted on Twitter at @BeNeverEnding. Follow them on Twitter to participate in other polls so that you can see possibly a design that you vote for get drawn in the next live stream. Who knows? All right, I'm going to sip my tea. Today's selection of tea is decaf Earl Grey again, because I'm boring. I did get other decaf black teas, but I just really wanted Earl Grey because I wanted my dose of honey. It's good for the throat, especially when you do a lot of talking. Okay, this hand, I'm going to need to zoom in and change the angle of the canvas so I can get a proper bead on it. Here we go. Okay. Just had to think because the The original reference image is like it's only at the front angle, and I'm drawing at like almost like a 3/4 view, so that changes things. Apparently not by much, though. I'd be surprised if the microphone is picking up anything other than Charlie Brown horn noises, because that's all I'm hearing from the basement downstairs.
Baby Bree.
Pawing at my wrist because I'm not petting her as much as she wants me to pet her. Also, speaking of martial arts traditions and things, I was introduced to the concept of death whistles, which are apparently an Aztec thing. Good God, are they terrifying? If you don't know what a death whistle is, it is basically a skull-shaped flute that you blow into it, and it sounds like a scream. And it's terrifying. But yeah, it's called a death whistle. If you don't believe me, like, look it up on YouTube. There's actually like a Ren Fair goer who talks about death whistles, and she plays them. And I first heard the note, and it gave me the heebie-jeebies. I was like, nope, 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 nope. I just realized this pose is almost borderline. I have the power of God and anime by my side. If you're familiar with that meme at all. I just realized it, but I'll work with it. Why not? Because that's basically Elf Monk. I have the power of God and anime by my side. A screaming skull would be terrifying. Yes, that's kind of the point with the death whistle, because the intent with the death whistle in Aztec culture was there was supposed to be like millions of them blown all at once by the armies in order to scare off intruders, and then they would go charge in. That was the intent with the death whistles, and that's a terrifying thought. But yeah, I only found out about it because of Critical Role, because there was mention of the death whistle, and then I was like, I wanted to see what this sounds like. I almost want to say that was a mistake, but I like skulls. They are a soft spot in my heart. Also, I like creepy things, so like it was creepy for sure, and it gave me the heebie-jeebies. But now that I've acclimated to it, it's like, okay, I can see the charm in this. I mean, it's definitely not for everybody, though. I'm going to show that off again. Oh, if you would like to vote on the name for my Discord server, I have a poll going on, which you can get to right here. I intend on launching a Discord server before the end of next week. And I want to launch a Discord server for folks who want to chat with me live, and for folks to chat with each other about the art and comics and stuff that I do. So it needs a name. Vote on a name. tinyurl.com/discord-poll. There you go. We all have a skull. It's close and personal. I mean, if you think about it, we are all skeletons walking around in a suit. Morbid thought for the day. For those of you who are joining the stream for the first time, if you hear any chattering or clanging in the background, that's just my mom, her boyfriend, and their friends packing up stuff in the basement and moving it out. We lead a weird life because my sister bought the house recently, and my mom and I have to move our stuff out. We're a unique family. Okay. So we got the basic pose. Kind of want to play with the idea of this elf monk being like non-binary, genderqueer, or gender neutral. So I don't want to like insinuate breasts or hips or any other distinguishing like marker. So I think this is a decent enough base to start with anyway. Also, I'm playing with the idea of the elf being genderqueer or non-binary or otherwise, or gender neutral, because A, I want to see more of that kind of representation in fantasy, because B, there's actually a lot of fantasy cultures and real world cultures that have a third gender, and I would like to see that represented more. And also, elves are, in my imagination, inherently like gender fluid. So there. Justifications, you're welcome.
Oh, Bree.
She just nudged my wrist because I wasn't petting her. Let's see. Oh, wait, better idea for the costume. You know what? For the costume, I think I'm going to do that on a separate layer. Just so if I want to erase any lines, I don't have to worry about erasing the skeleton underneath. Told you, don't worry about any noises that you hear coming from the basement. Things that sound like something a serial killer would say. Don't worry about the noises in the basement. Either said by somebody who is a serial killer or somebody who has a haunted house. Which one is it? No, honestly, my family and I say a lot of things that like other people would find inherently weird. And I realized that when talking with my sister, Kia, the one who bought the house, and she was trying to make jokes with people, and the people that she tried to make jokes with would like stare at her in utter horror, like, oh my God, how is this funny? And she's like, what? You've never thought about going car shopping and then looking at the trunk and going, you could hide several bodies inside of that thing. Again, things only said by people who might be serial killers. Morbid humor. And you wonder why I like skulls. Whoop. I want to correct that line. There we go. I'm not sure what they're moving down in the basement. They've already moved the enormous tool case. So I can't imagine what the next big thing is that they're moving, but it sounds big. No, actually. If we're going to be playing with the notion of chest binders, we don't want to do bandages. Because pro tip, try not to do bandages as much as possible whenever you're binding your chest. There are a lot of trans and non-binary people who have done that sort of thing. Don't make their mistake. Okay. It's a good outfit basis. Voted on the poll. Thank you very much for your vote, Carlos. Alrighty. Now, should this monk have bracers on the arms or the legs? Because they are a monk. Might not be necessary. We'll see. There we go. Play around with the layering a little bit. You know, I might change up the vest now that I'm looking at it, because I like the way that the sash is wrapped around this particular guy. Also, I think there's a sash wrapped around the other one. Yeah, I like both of those. But I'll play with this one a little bit first. Don't forget that gravity is a thing when you're drawing clothes. Hot tip for the day. Here we go. That works. This monk is going to be barefoot here shortly. No, they're not going to have leg bracers, I don't think. Okay. Vine bracers! Ooh. Or none. Or whatever. No, I like the idea of vine bracers. I mean, the team and I have been talking about doing a lot more vine and nature-based character aesthetics, like wood prosthetics with vines and grass poking out of the cracks, and a few other things. I want to take some time to make some horns, because tieflings and druids, but mostly tieflings. Sorry, my phone just vibrated. I'm going to see what's going on. Okay. Nothing urgent. Okay, we're good. You know what? I'm gonna do a favor for the both of us, and I'm gonna bring up the Forest app, because what that'll do is I can set this for whatever timer that I want, and it'll plant a digital tree, or it'll plant a digital seed for me. And if I don't touch my phone or fiddle with it, it will grow a virtual tree. That's why I like Forest, because it makes you stay focused and it keeps you off your phone. So let's see. We're going to plant this for 75 minutes. Digital seed planted. So there we go. It's not going to stop the influx of notifications, but it is going to keep me off the phone. All right, let's do vine bracers. We're going to do the vine bracers on the arms, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Great minds think alike there, Jamie. All right, let's change up the link at the bottom here and switch back over to BeNeverEnding.com, because that's who I am drawing this for. It was voted on in a poll on Twitter at BeNeverEnding. Follow them for future polls, because we may be doing more stuff like this, where you can vote for a design for me to draw in a live stream. And you cast your vote for what you would like me to draw, and then I will live draw it. And that's what this is. There was a poll for the last week for people to vote on what design they wanted to see. And the most popular vote for this week was Elf Monk. So that is who I am drawing. Follow on Twitter at BeNeverEnding. There's lots of other stuff happening over on their account too. It almost makes me want to get back onto Twitter because I left the platform back in 2017. I just recently came to the decision to delete my Facebook. And that's a story and a half right there. I may reiterate that story at the end of the live stream, but we're going to get back to drawing really fast. I'm going to make the main blocky part for the bracers a little uneven to insinuate that this is made of like scrap wood tied with some vines. I'm picturing this scene from Princess Mononoke towards the end of the movie. Spoilers if you haven't seen Princess Mononoke, but there is a segment where Lady Eboshi is about to shoot the forest spirit, and the forest spirit notices her and then looks at her and just gives her this look, and vines start growing out of her gun. And I'm picturing those vines as I'm drawing this out right now. Which, if you haven't seen Princess Mononoke yet, what are you doing? You need to go watch it. Fandom Musings on YouTube actually did a video comparing Princess Mononoke with Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which was one of Hayao Miyazaki's first movies. The two have similar-ish messages, but they pan out in different ways. I think of the two, Princess Mononoke is the stronger work. Initially, my gut reaction was, no, Nausicaa's better, but no, Princess Mononoke is better. One little piece of merch that exists connected to Princess Mononoke that I want to get my hands on one day is there are these little tree spirits. They look like little white ghosts. The toy for them is about this big. And you pull on a little string and they vibrate and shake. And they sound like little rattles going. Because in the movie, when they shake their heads, they sound like rattles. And I really want that. My friend Chloe has one of those, and it's adorably creepy, and I want it. I like adorably creepy things. I'm that kind of aesthetic. Are you doing any commissions, by the way? I'm wrapping up commissions. There's 1 or 2 commissions that I've got in progress right now that I got to finish first. Once I get those done, I should be open again soon. I definitely think Mononoke is the stronger of the two, but I also think Nausicaa has the issue that it was originally a comic and Miyazaki had to adapt the best of the comic into a film. Fact, I have not read the original manga that Nausicaa was based off of, but I feel like maybe the manga would have given more context for some things, because there was a lot in the movie Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind that felt like it was a little glossed over, and maybe it was elaborated on better in the original manga. The comic also had to come first in order for the film to even be made. That too. Although, that does remind me, another YouTube channel shout out, Anime Abandon. He did a video about this anime film called Steam Boy, which is by the same director as Akira. The guy who directed those, I want to say it's Katsuhiro Otomo. He started his career as a manga artist and then became an anime director. And I don't think Steam Boy was based on a manga. I know Akira was, but I don't think Steam Boy was. I think that was just one that he was like, I want to make this into a movie. And then he did it. So that's a thing. When I ink in these wood bracers with the vines, I'm going to add some wood texturing to the irregular panels here to imply that it is indeed wood. Right now, I'm just blocking this in just to be like, here is the placement of this thing. For those of you who are joining in on the live stream, if you hear any noises happening in the background, that's just my mom and her boyfriend packing up stuff in the house and taking it outside. So don't worry, it's fine. Totally not a haunted house. No ghosts. None whatsoever. Don't look. There's no bodies in the basement. I mean, what? I'm going to have some tea. Okay. Also, no, my cats did not grow opposable thumbs and start getting into things that they shouldn't. Though, okay. In the garbage bag, because there's a garbage bag full of clothes over here in the living room, and I wanted to make sure that she wasn't digging in there. Girl loves plastic. There we go. Leafy bracers. Leave the progress made so far. Also, hello. I'm happy that you joined us, Chloe. Thank you for joining us. Let's change up the link at the bottom. We're going to go with this one, Linktree/Kelsey D. Find all my stuff. Patreon, Coffee, website, YouTube channel, Instagram, Tumblr, all of that and more on Linktree. Excuse me. Tea's getting a little bit better, but I left the tea bag in there. That's why. Oh, hold on. Oh no, I lost my pressure sensitivity. Shit. Hold on. And okay. Well, I lost my pressure sensitivity, so I'm going to restart the program and we are going to go back. Open. Where is it? There it is. Boop. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got my pressure sensitivity back. Okay. So I got the outfit figured out. Mostly. This is just the bare bones one. I'll add the patterns in the inking or coloring phase, one or the other. I'm going to go back into the pencil layer to flesh out some details, like the feet. There we go. Okay, that's, well, one foot's larger than the other. I'm going to fix that. thin the ankle out a bit and missed a line. Boop. Play with the scaling. That's a bit better. Let's see how that compares to the other foot. That's better. Okay. I can live with that for the penciling stage. I can refine it in the inks. For the face, I want to do a more gender neutrally face. So I've been drawing that particular style of eye too much, so I'm going to change it up. Polish up the lines a little bit. That's better. And I subscribe to the idea that elf ears are long and pointy like the Jack and Daxter series. If you don't like it, deal. Okay. What style of hair should they have, though? That's my question. I'll think about that for a minute while I sip my tea. Excuse me. I could give them a shorter haircut or a longer one. I haven't drawn a long-haired character for a while. I might do that. Ugh. Excuse me. Yeah, I think I'll do some long hair on this particular character. Because I've been doing a lot of short bobs and I want to do something different. Gosh dang it. Oh. Just realized I've been drawing this entire time and I haven't even shared the screen. There we go. Okay. Now we can see the drawing on the screen. I corrected the feet. Ooh, long braid, question mark? Possibly a long braid. I think that's pretty gender neutral. Let's see. Yep, this is what's been drawn so far. Got the long elf ears because I subscribe to the school of long elf ears. And did the eyes. I think I'll do some braids, yeah. Honestly, I think a long braid would be a good idea. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, Jamie. When I closed the Clip Studio Paint, it closed the screen share. So yeah, that's something I need to keep an eye on for next time. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. I like just one long braid. I'm definitely leaning towards that direction. So one long braid it is. All right. Also suitable for a monk. It's funny, the stereotype for monks are either they have like perfectly clean shaven heads or they have like long ass hair. Okay, I had to think about the placement of the braid. So we're just gonna chunk out the braid on this side. Decorative beads. Again, this is the pencil layer. We're just blocking things in, and then we'll actually polish it up in the inking stage. Let's see. Oh, I'm turning off the pencil outfit layer for a hot minute so I can actually see the braid that I'm drawing. That would help. And there's that. That's a solid braid, if I dare say so myself. That's impressive. Screen share is turned off. Like right now? Like, are y'all seeing the screen like right now? Because I'm seeing on my end that there's the screen share happening, and I just want to make sure that everybody can still see it. Okay, sound off in the comments if you can see the screen or not see it, because I want to make sure. Okay. 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 You see it? You see it? Okay. Whew. Crisis averted. I was a little concerned. Okay. I think. Oh wait, I need to draw the what's the technical term for it? The hilt? Sword hilt? No. Scabbard? The thing that the sword is kept in. I know nothing of weapons. Sorry. Pencils. Outfit. Anyway, I need to draw this. Here we go. Maybe. Hold on. No, that's. Maybe I don't draw one. Oh, Carlos. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that you fixed it, Chloe. Where did you get that amazing dice mug? This was a gift from my dungeon master, Reno. He got it from, I think Geek. I think. Scabbard. Thank you. You know my weapons terminology for me. Also, check it out. It has a lid. It's delightful and I love it. Whew, okay. But yeah, this was a gift. This was a gift from a friend of mine, which I hope he's watching. Hi, Reno, if you're watching. All right. Got the links all figured out. Got the screen share figured out. Good. We still got pressure and sensitivity. That makes me happy. Okay. Okay, I think I got this figured out. The scabbard situation. This is entirely a design cheat. Like, it probably would not sit naturally like this, but I'm going to draw it this way in order to emphasize the lines of the figure. So, yeah. Yeah, this is a little known thing about working in character design and other artistry that I think a lot of people kind of gloss over, is you just got to work with the lines that are present. See the progress we've made so far. And time to work on the inks. We're going to change the opacity on this layer and this layer. There we go. And that way the inks will stand out more. Thinner eyebrows. There we go. I'm going to redraw this line. Try to make it a little thinner. That's better. Yoink. If they have one in purple, it's going in my cart. They might. I don't know what colors they come in. You put the lid on that mug and I shouted, no way. I know, it's a delightful mug. The handle is called the haft. The crossbars between the handle and blade is called the tang. The holder is the scabbard. Okay, I remember hearing tang because of a podcast called All Work, No Play. It's basically Liam O'Brien and Sam Riegel being the best of buds, and they talk about their life, the universe, and everything, and then the fun they'd done that particular past weekend. You can find the podcast at Critical Role, because they're two of the players. But Sam Riegel and Liam O'Brien, with their first episode of All Work, No Play, was where they learned sword fighting. And the guy who was giving the instructions on how to do stuff, he gave them a breakdown of the parts of the sword. And he was like, this is your pommel. This is your tang. This is the hilt. This is your point. There will not be a test. And it was just the delivery of that made me so happy. So yeah, Jamie, when you were doing the breakdown, that I flashed to that. And the stupid thing is, like, on some level, I knew the parts to the sword. It's just I brain farted and forgot. There we go. So I'll throw this out there. I'm not on D&D Beyond, but I'm really tempted to get on D&D Beyond, if only to pitch my sub-race idea of the Mountain Ridge Elf, because of a fantasy novella that I wrote for a writer's challenge called National Novel Writing Month. The aim of National Novel Writing Month, or NaNoWriMo, is to write a 50,000 word novella in 30 days. If you can do it in less, cool, but the objective is to do it in 30 days. And the reason that this exists is because everybody has a book within them, and that challenge is your excuse to actually take the time to write it. Usually for NaNoWriMo, it's like fresh, new ideas. But the first year that I participated in NaNoWriMo and actually finished the challenge, I took that as an opportunity to rewrite the fantasy novella about a mountain ridge elf, which was a homebrewed race that I came up with. Because most elves in D&D 5th edition are like wood elves or high elves, and those are your two variants. But I wanted to do something called a mountain ridge elf, where those elves live in the mountains. So they would have like cold resistance at the very least, but possibly even poison resistance. And they would also trend more towards constitution. So they would have like stats closer towards a dwarf, but not necessarily dwarf stats, because they're still elves. But it's an elf variant that I wanted to adapt into D&D 5th edition, because it already exists in a fantasy novella that I wrote. So I wanted to see about making it an actual playable thing for other players. Let's change up the link at the bottom. We're going to give NeverEnding another shout out. Follow them on Twitter, vote in their polls, and you can help decide what character I draw next. Let's see. We got the braid. Awesome. Shoulder. Deltoid. Bicep. Yoink. Elbow. Tricep. I'm not at glutes yet, but I will eventually get to glutes. Now, I know the muscles of the body because I did weightlifting in high school, because I was that person. I did not want to do general PE, and I did not want to do any sports, so I just went into weightlifting because I wanted to get strong. I honestly kind of miss weightlifting at the gym, but I don't necessarily miss the gym environment. But still, I miss being able to bench like 180 pounds. Because 180 is my personal record that I could do comfortably for bench pressing. My personal record was 210, but I couldn't do that like for more than 10 reps. So I could do 180 comfortably, 210 in a burst. Which, for the record, I weigh about 145 pounds. Ish. I don't own a scale. The only time that I ever get weighed is when I go to the doctor. I'm actually dumb, LOL. The cross guard or guard, the tang is actually inside the hilt. Nothing like bold confidence. For anyone interested, it's totally okay. I've had my fair share of like, oh, this is the thing. Wait, I said that wrong. So it's all good. At least the chat is there for history, so that if anybody wants to like see the correction and where it applies, there you go. BeNeverEnding.com. I'll give that another shout out. Let's see. Oh, we're now at the part where I get to draw the texture of wood. Boop. It is very fitting, I think, that a elf would have wood and leaf bracers. Let's see.
We'll play very delicately with these lines right in here. Shaboom.
There we go. We have progress made so far. I am out of tea. I am so disappointed. Oh well. Because I was about to take a sipsy and no. It's not happening. I'm disappointed, but I will live. Alrighty. Vines. Which, okay, Vine, my brain made a jump. Let me build the bridge. So Vine made me think of the social media platform Vine before it passed. And that made me think of TikTok, which I'm really glad that TikTok is taking off the way that it is, because that's kind of the new Vine, I think. Like a lot of the folks like Thomas Sanders, who made Vine work for them best, are finding a new audience on TikTok, and I'm so happy for them. TikTok is one of those things that I should get an account on there. I should get on TikTok. I haven't made the leap yet. I think part of it is just my hang up about making videos, because like I don't like video editing. I like doing live streams because I don't have to edit anything. It's just you do it live, boom, done, you're good. I don't mind doing that, but there's just something about editing video that kind of makes me want to like scratch my face. So I try to minimize my exposure to that. For those of you who are interested, commissions are closed for just a little bit longer, but I should be open for commissions again by the end of next week. Knock on wood. Hopefully I can get some stuff done before the end of this weekend. But there's one or two other commissions that I've been asked to make that I'm wrapping up. Once I get those done, I will make an announcement on my email newsletter when I'm available to do commissions again. The email newsletter and Instagram. I'll make announcements on both when I'm available to do commissions. And you can find either of those through my Linktree. Linktree has all my links. We're doing it live! Yes, that's how I do things. I prefer to do things live, but that's a me thing. I know like a lot of people don't like being on camera live, but like I live for it. I'm good with that. Linktree. That way you can find my Instagram and my email newsletter. I will announce on both of those when I am available to do commissions again, which should be soon. Knock on wood. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Just making sure that everything's all hunky-dory and all that jazz. Good. I still got my pressure sensitivity. If you're joining the live stream just now, don't mind the noises that you hear in the background, because that's just my mom and her boyfriend packing up stuff. Excuse me, with the help of a couple of family friends. I told them that I was going to be live streaming until like 3 o'clock, and then after that I will be free to help them out. But this was a non-negotiable for me. Oh, I will say, if you are interested in the art that I make and you want to see some more of it, I do have a massive sale going on Store Envy right now. You can find that on my link tree. It's under the link called Store. Check it out. The sale prices are in effect and they are good until May 22nd. But buy stuff. Everything must go in that store because it's all like convention stuff that needs new homes. So if you like what you see and you want to read my comics or get prints or stickers, because I have stickers, go to my shop through my link tree here. Everything's on sale. Everything's all marked down. Go check it out. It's also a nice budget-friendly option for if you can't afford a commission quite yet, but you still want to support the art. Just check out the shop through Linktree there, because I have stickers and comics and stuff for sale. If you have the means to support, if you're broke, share the link. Sharing helps more than you think it does. But there's like no pressure to buy. It's entirely optional. But yes, everything's on sale. Okay, that is one leafy arm bracer done. Oh, to do the sword, I'm actually going to make a new layer sword. And I'm going to rotate the canvas a little bit more. And, oh, I need to correct a line. Hold on. Going to do curve. This line. This is the line that needs corrected. So let me go into this layer and erase it. There, that's better. But I wanted to do the sword lines on a different layer so that when I erase these lines, I'm not getting into the finer details of the face. Layers are your best friend, so use them. Shaboop, and yeah. Zoom in on the tip. Connect the dots and a curve. Boom. I need to correct a line. Hold on. Go ahead, but Goon Squad. Then I'm gonna boot a punch the wizard to my left. Sorry, I went into like barbarian mode from if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch Everything is Content playing Dungeon Mayhem. It's some of the players from Critical Role in a little show called Everything is Content, and they play a few rounds of a game called Dungeon Mayhem. It's a card game, and it's delightful, and they play character voices, and you should watch it just for the charm of hearing Travis Willingham do Julia Childs. That's all I'm going to say. But I do really like Matthew Mercer's barbarian voice in that particular installment. It was great. Target acquired. Though hearing Liam O'Brien's Barbarian was also very funny because it subverts expectations. That's all I'm going to say about that. I don't want to spoil it. Let's see. I think I'll draw the left arm. Just using my own body as a reference again, because I brain farted and forgot my left and right. I'm going to ink the left arm first before I start inking in the torso. Oh.
Finger number 2. And finger number middle.
Crap. I'm going to redraw that.
Finger number middle. Finger number point.
Nope. 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 Don't like that. I want to try that again. I don't like how this hand was drawn. I'm going to redraw it. God. We're doing it live. Just, oh God, let me try this again. I'm going to try this again. Just, oh God, I don't like how this hand turned out. I am going to fix it because, ugh. Okay. Oh, I have an idea. Okay. I was like, what can I draw instead? I've got it. I forgot for a second that this particular pencil layer's opacity is at 25% and not at 100 because I was like, this is extra gray. Oh, that's right. That's why. I'm a doof. Sorry. I'm having a slow morning. Something about the proportion of that. The hand needs to be maybe a little bit bigger. I don't know. I think I might have made this other hand too big. Crud. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm going to take a second and I'm going to just get myself some, I have sweet tea. So I will be right back. BRB, fetching tea. The friend of the family who came over to help my mom and Corey pack up stuff brought brownies. And I'm really tempted to snag one. Ooh, I'm not going going to yet because it's not opened. They're all shrink wrapped, so I'm not going to open it yet. That's incriminating evidence against me. Okay. It's sweet tea, so it's cold, but it's still tea. I will take it. Boom! Okay. Excuse me, just a tickle in the throat. Okay. Back to inking and figuring out, oh god, what to do with the hands. Let me see if I can. Well, you know what? It'd just be easier to. Well, I was gonna say it's gonna be easier to just like enlarge this hand here, but I can still shrink down the fingers over here just a little bit. Not by a whole lot, but okay. Whoops. Pen tool. Boop. There we go. Okay. Rotate the canvas. There we go. I think part of it too is I need to erase this line altogether and try it again. And maybe turn the pencil layer off. I think that might help. That's better. I think, anyway. We'll see how it looks compared to the other hand. Sword layer. Boop. There we go. Okay. Straighten that up. Zoom out. And that's a bit better. Need to shrink down the thumb. Okay. The hands are now closer in proportion, but I am going to fix that thumb on that hand there. Thumb's just a bit too chunky for me. So I've taken to singing my edits. Y'all are just going to have to deal. Everybody punch the wizard to your left. Another little gem from Dungeon Mayhem. Which, okay, I had not heard of Dungeon Mayhem before watching the Everything is Content episode about it. But after having seen that episode, I really want to get the card game and play it with friends. It looks like a lot of fun. Also, I would totally be that player who would come up with silly voices for the character that I am playing. Even though it's not necessary, I think it's necessary. But I get a lot of enjoyment out of doing silly character voices. Yoink. I mean, why else would I do Ollie voice so much? I like doing Ollie voice, even though it's such a nightmare on my throat. It's a lot of fun. My question is, how is it that some voice actors don't know how to do the Stitch voice? Well, it's not that hard to do some kind of a timbre like this one. It's really not. At least not for me. Maybe I just do weird things with my voice. I do weird things with my face. I have this like skill that apparently nobody else has where I can wink perfectly. I'll demonstrate that at the end of the live stream. Oh wait, this is the word. You know, I just flashed to the first Crash Bandicoot game had some enemy types that were like humans with wood armor sets. And I'm like, may not be a bad idea to look at those for some inspirations. We'll see. I'll give NeverEnding another shout out on Twitter. Follow them. Boom. Okay.
Line again. Line again. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Hanko de Mayo has happened, so be sure to wish Hank Green a happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. His birthday was on the 5th. Hank Green of Vlog Brothers fame. His birthday falls on Cinco de Mayo, so the affectionate nickname in the Vlog Brothers community, or Nerd Fighter community, is calling it Hanko de Mayo. And that's just kind of how I refer to it as from now on, because that's the kind of world that I want to live in. I mean, Cinco de Mayo is cool, but Hanko de Mayo is a fun name. You know, I have yet to read his book, An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, but I have heard good things about it. Really want to read it. I have a long reading list, though. Like, there's a lot of books on my shelf right now that I have not read yet. I started reading one of the Viking sagas, which I did not realize how weirdly dry the Viking sagas were, but then when you recount them and you try to describe them to somebody else, you make it sound more fun than it is to actually read it. Because like actually reading the thing is kind of dry, but when you're like recounting it to a friend, you make it sound more fun than it actually is. That's the weirdness of Viking sagas, I feel like. Because like I finished reading Saga of the Volsungs, and now I know the context of, oh yes, I think the character's name was Gunnar, was sent into a pit of snakes, and he lulled them all to sleep by playing the harp with his toes. What? That's the thing. But like when you read it, it's retold in the driest way possible. But when you like retell it, it makes it sound more fun. It's a paradox. It is a weird, weird paradox. So yeah, I'm reading through one of the Viking sagas, Eagles saga. It's spelled Egil. I don't know how to pronounce it. But this dude comes from a long line of like shapeshifters and bards. So there's a lot of spontaneous poetry. I mean, like Icelandic poetry. When they translate it into English, it's like the most dry thing that you can encounter. It probably sounds better in the original Icelandic, let's be real. kind of like Pablo Neruda poems. Probably sound a lot better in the original Spanish. It's part of the reason I even wanted to learn French in the first place, because I'm such a comics nerd, and comics are a really big freaking deal in France, and they have a lot of like French language exclusive comics, and I kind of want to learn French, if only so I can read those French exclusive comics, because I'm that kind of a nerd. As it turns out, though, French is a bastard of a language. I mean, once you pick it up, it's one of those languages that it sounds easier to comprehend than it is to read it. Because when you try to read it, you're like, why is it pronounced this way? But when you speak it out loud, it makes sense. It's weird. All right, I'm going to try to veer my tangents more towards like RPGs and fantasy stuff again. If you have any questions for me about anything, leave them in the chat. I would like to answer some questions in the last 12 minutes before this stream wraps up. Polish up the leaves and get rid of the tangent over here. And that's corrected. Huzzah. That looks so much better in my opinion. Yay. I'm going to fix this over here. So that's a little less of a tangent. Yep. Yeah. Yep. That's okay. That'll work. Leaf. Erickson. Sorry, my mind went back to Vikings again. And that bracer is done. Huzzah! So now I can work on the torso.
Jeff, yeah.
Okay. Swoop. I'm going to redo that. Swoop. Ah, that's even worse. Nope. There, that's much better. Thinner line. Much prefer those. Okay. Go on, try that again. Boom. There we go. Cool. Boop. Boop. Change up the link at the bottom of the screen. Yay. Continue that. Wait, that's a tangent. I need to fix that. Okay. That's a bit better. I want to polish that up a bit so it looks less junky. Shaboot. Fixed. Mostly. Done. Okay. Rotate the canvas. Ugh. That was a little too rotated. That's better. Shoop. Okay. This piece is going to get colored later. I'm not even sure that I'll finish these inks by the time the live stream ends. We shall see. Yep. Okay. Ah, son of a biscuit. I forgot the scabbard. Yeah. Oh, hi. I am loving pastries, and my God, is so cool, you guys. I do agree with Joe Katz's assessment about the crap guide to clerics. A lot of people seem to think that cleric means designated healer, but no, it can also mean like rabid fangirl who's like super duper into their deity senpai. Like, clerics are about the only class that I can think of, besides maybe warlock, where their powers entirely stem from fangirlitis. Like, if you want to play a fangirl in Dungeons and Dragons, build a cleric. It's the surest way to do it. Okay, we got about 6 minutes left before the end of the live stream. If you have any questions for me, shout them out in the live chat, and I will answer them live to the best of my ability. Questions can be anything about like the art process, how I got started, how to get started, if you want to like get into being an artist professionally, or just questions about life, the universe, and everything. As long as it's not politics. I try not to talk about politics in the live streams. But like any other question, I do not mind. I'm going to redraw that. Oh, wow, we have a few minutes left in the stream. I'm also going to shout out my Discord poll again one more time. Help me name my Discord server. Go to tinyurl.com/discord-poll and vote on the name of my Discord server. The winner will be announced next week in Friday's email newsletter, but go vote. Or you will make a clerical error. Talking about clerics. Another fun stream. Have a wonderful weekend. You too. I'm not wrapping it up quite yet. I still got a few minutes, but thank you for joining us. If you are interested in playing Dungeons and Dragons, but you have no idea how to do anything, Barbarian is honestly a really beginner-friendly class. So is Fighter. Fighter's one of those classes that, like, they might as well give you a freaking slice of cheesecake and a complimentary belly rub just for picking the class because it's so noob friendly. But Barbarian is also pretty noob friendly too. If you're new to Dungeons and Dragons, I would shy away from the magic casting classes because magic is an entire separate layer of stuff to keep track of. This is just one dungeon master's perspective on it. I've been a dungeon master and a player for 5 years in D&D 5th edition, so I feel like I know what I'm talking about, even if I don't feel like I do half the time. Oh, I mentioned before, when I was doing my little voice acting bit, I had mentioned that I also have this weird talent that apparently not a lot of other people have, which is that I can wink perfectly. And I would like to give a demonstration of that really fast, which is why I took my glasses off. Yep. That happened. I like to use that to creep out my sisters. Whoop. Gonna try to draw that again. Oh, look at that. I might actually be able to finish these before 3 o'clock. I got 2 minutes. Again, don't worry if you hear any voices in the background because that's just Mom and Corey and 2 other friends helping to pack up stuff in the house. I will be joining them here shortly. Oh, I need to draw that again. Ugh, that was gross. Okay. That's a bit better. And all of the inks are done. Huzzah! That is awesome. And we have an elf monk. Huzzah! I'll be adding the colors later, and I'm going to play around with the patterns on the actual monk outfit. Pulling a little more from, I'm thinking probably Indian or maybe even Mongolian influence for this one. Probably leaning towards Mongolian if I can. Yes, thank you, Carlos. Current musical obsession, Caravan Palace. If you have not checked out Caravan Palace, do it. They recently released a track called Moonshine, which is a lot of fun. And a lot of people have been doing remixes of it. And the remixes are just as fun as the original. Caravan Palace, go check them out. They are marvelous. Also, they have really fun animated music videos. Like, they get really cool animators to do the animated bits for their music videos. I can do that with my right eye. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Other current musical obsessions. For a while, I was really into churches, which, if you want to look them up, it's CHVRCHES. But churches, that's how you pronounce it. But they're a really fun group too. I was obsessed with them for a little bit. Other musical obsessions. I have been on this kick of listening to the original Nier game soundtrack, like that is some next level video game soundtrack music right there. That and well, I first discovered Nier because of Nier Automata. Nier Automata's soundtrack is really good, but the cool thing about it is that Nier Automata's soundtrack is remixes of the original Nier soundtrack. And you can hear the influence when you listen to the soundtracks back to back. So I've been obsessed with that and seeing like how they adapt it and change it to account for the time jumps and everything. That's so cool to me. Let's see. I'm going to give one more shout out to the artist of my sweater here. Their name is Maury. I'm going to double check the name here really fast before I wrap it up. Maury Clark. That's what I thought. Okay. The person who did this tiefling sweater is Maury Clark. Follow them on Instagram at MORIE Clark. They have other wonderful Dungeons and Dragons art. Go check it out. They are marvelous. But yeah, you can find me online through my links on my link tree here. Go check it out. Oh, Jamie, for the record, I will add NeverEnding to the link tree to give y'all a shout out. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, that's going to be it from me for today. Thank you for joining me in this live stream. I will see you in the replay. I will be doing another live stream next week, Saturday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The contents of that live stream are to be determined, but I will be doing another live stream next week. Find all my stuff online, linktree/KelseyD. Thank y'all for watching. You are awesome.